We're gonna have to switch running though to the red color. This seems like purple and blue is not going to be good for this. And yeah, Nicov versus running. Nicov in the blue color, playing with Lithuanians, is going to get 150 extra food upon starting the game. It's going to get 10% fast movement skirm spearline units. We'll have in addition to that 1 extra attack on Knights and Light Chair units per each relic garrison up to 4 relics up to +4 attack. The team bonus will give his monasteries 20% faster working speed, so going for monks and going out and collecting the relics is eventually going to be a little bit easier for him, a little bit faster, right? A little bit smoother. Meanwhile, running civilization on the other hand, the Portuguese, an interesting one for Nomad for sure, will get access to Feiteria and the Imperial Age. We know that. They're going to get 20% cheaper gold cost on units. In addition to, for the Portuguese, we're gonna have for the civilization also, let's take a look. Beautiful. We're gonna have for the civilization also 30% longer last, actually 30% faster research and upgrades with 25% wood income from berries, and that's going to be about it for both these players, I'm pretty sure. Getting some scouting information already from running, and for Nicov, running's roaming around. Nicov is not really scouting too much right now. As a matter of fact, doesn't really have too many geese, right? I don't know. He's just trying to focus on getting the fishing ships out. That's the way that you go when you're playing Lithuanians. And then Nicov's gonna go and try and collect food afterwards. While running on the other hand, Will, he is already taking a boar over here. Very, very well done so, by the way. Taking it down with the TC, not really losing much HP at all with the villagers, so well done. It's got yet another boar over here, it's got yet another boar over here. We're gonna take a look at the TC location actually next. And starting with Mr. Nicov, what do we get for the Argentinian? Well, first off, we're gonna have for Mr. Nicov 1 goal on the left hand side. Around the wool line over here, but it's going to be on the back, so it's good. It's got the wool line, of course. And then on the right hand side, we're gonna have another goal over here behind another wool line. This one is quite massive, the wool line on the right hand side. Besides that, we also have the stone right next to the TC, berries right next to the TC, hunting right next to the TC or close to it. And for boars, he does have a few, right? I'm not really sure which ones he's aware of it. He's aware of, but there is 1 boar over here, there is 1 boar over here, there is 1 boar over here. And taking a look at the scouting information, he knows about the one on the right hand side, he knows about the one on the south, and he doesn't know about this one though. He doesn't know about this one. And I would imagine he's eventually going to find out. He's got a villager very, very close to the boar on the dock. Meanwhile, up in the north, we see another boar coming from running. And the red player, on the other hand, he's got stone very close to the TC, similar to Nicov, but not quite as close. He's got 1 goal on the back, similar to Nicov, but a little bit more accessible as it's not around the wood line. But that's about it. He does not really have a second goal like Nicov does. The second goal over here is going to be all the way to the southeast, very far away from running. The wood line is going to be extremely accessible, of course. The second wood line on the left hand side is going to be there. And berries are not at hand. Boars, he's already taken 2 boars, and there are 3 additional boars for the red player that he could potentially collect from. And we're going to take a look to see 4 actually that he could potentially collect from. We're going to take a look to see which ones he's aware of. And he knows about 1, 2, 3 out of 4. He is already looking better than Nicov in terms of just general scouting and information. Yeah, and what is Nicov going to do next? Then he's collected the boar. He knows about this one on the right hand side, I remember. He just doesn't know about this one, right? But now he does! Now he does! Check this out. He sees the boar over there. Beautiful. So it's going to be now about the same for both these players. With the next board being visible to Nicov now, I would say that I'm probably liking his TC location a little bit better, mainly because this got access to 2 golds compared to just 1 for running. This means if Nicov were to put some pressure against running, the red player will be cornered and he would only have access to these resources then. If Nicov pushes from the right hand side, he'll be able to deny this, he'll be able to deny this, right? And Nicov himself, if he got pushed from running on the right hand side, he would have the option to bail back to this gold, extra woods, extra stone, and it's gonna be fine. So, what to expect over here? Well, we have talked about the civ bonuses, we haven't talked about the actual matchup. Lithuanians are an amazing civilization for a map such as Nomad, and so are the Portuguese. However, the way that they approach the game on a map like this is usually very different. Running civilization is usually going to shine and want to see full aggression, going for organ guns, right? And Nicov on the other hand is going to shine and going for water control, trying to play more for the longer game instead. So I would say running's probably going to be the one to put the most pressure against Nicov rather than the other way around, which means that Nicov has managed to get the TC up in a position where he will have extra space to fall back to in case it's necessary. If it were the other way around, the Nicov was playing where running is located right now and running was putting pressure against Nicov from the right hand side over here, then Nicov would find himself cornered. And that wouldn't be any good, but of course, as things are right now, it seems like it's going to be very similar. It's going to be rather better for Nicov to have all those resources available in the back. Village here for Nicov. Market, blacksmith on the way. Running on the other hand, he's got the market on the way, blacksmith on the way as well. It's just going to be a standard fast castle for both these players. And interestingly enough, running is not collecting any stone whatsoever. Let's see. Stage on the way for Nicov. Running. Should be on its way to the castle very soon. It's trying to prioritize navy production right now. There you go. Nicov does not seem to be particularly interested in going for any navy though, given how heavily he's gone into fisher ships. That is kind of interesting, but he will be going for navy, only that he'll do it from the right hand side. Sneaky Dogs is trying to get up right now. Interesting to see for Nicov. He will most definitely end up losing the fishing on the left hand side. And yeah, boy, this is something that running is not expecting, of course, in Nicov. So really going for the fire galleys. I kind of wonder though, he's going up to the castle edge first. Does he want to go for fire galleys right now and then go for the war galley upgrade, or does he want to go for the fire galleys and go forward and just try to put pressure right away? I would imagine you would not want to spend any extra resources than what you need, so probably just sending the units forward would be the best. And I guess we are going to find out. The first fire galley is about to come out. He is going for war galley. Alright. And it seems like he's just going to garrison these. Try to mass them up. First fisher ship going down, yes sir. 1 KD in favor of Nicov. He's got the war galley upgrade while running. He's going for the war galley upgrade himself, and Nicov Nicov would probably expect running to pay attention to his own economy and not be putting pressure forward, right? But yeah, he would be in the wrong, of course, as running is over here is going to end up taking all the fishing ships, and that was not even close. Nicov was trying to buy himself some time by kind of baiting those fire ships away, and now he's going to end up getting cleaned up himself. So this was kind of risky for Nicov. He's got a demolition ship coming out, and that won't really do much. Okay, that was a good shot. That was a good shot. A little bit sloppy from running over there. Yeah, Nicov's going to try to start defending himself, but he's already been taking a lot of damage. Right now, the work count is the exact same for both these players. Running did not start collecting stone when going up to the fuel age or earlier than that. Instead, he started collecting stone afterwards. But he's getting very close already. He's been collecting quite heavily, so he's getting very close to having enough stone to go for the castle. And where does he want to go for it? If we take a look at the scouting information, he knows about Nicov's market. He knows about the house. He probably expects Nicov to be somewhere around here. And as such, it would probably be good for the red player to try to go for a castle probably around here. The safest bet for him would be maybe getting the castle around here, just so that he can deny the goal. At the very least, he knows he's going to be doing some damage, right? But yeah, of course, the more aggressive castle would actually be closer to here, as far forward as you can see. But he's going to go for the more defensive one, or not defensive, but he's going to go for the more cautious one in any case. Go. Second TC is on the way now for Nicov instead. He's got almost enough to go for another one. He had to go for the stone walls, otherwise he would have enough to go for a third TC. As visual effect, Noah, thank you. Sir Chico. Yeah, Nicov for the time being is going to be fine, right? But we know that these walls will not last forever. And Runnings continuing to collect stone. Very soon we'll be able to go for a second castle himself. And on the right hand side, Nicov's coming out on top in water. On the left hand side, he was finally able to push Running away, and Running has decided to bail to the north for the most part. He's got the fish ships alive, he's got the fire ships, he's got the militia ships over here protecting whatever he's got left in terms of water economy. But yeah, right now definitely the priority for the red player is going for land aggression, namely organ guns, potentially petards. We'll see. Very soon a second castle. For the time being, it's just going to be the organ guns. He's got a monastery and some monks coming out, but he's not really been able to do too much with this for the time being. Up in the north, here comes Nicov. We were expecting to see him take full war control by virtue of Running, focusing on land and not really having too many units left to work with over here, so we should see Nicov come out on top. He's got to bring all the rest of the units over though. Right now it's got just a subset of his military. And while down south, University's on the way for Nicov. He's going to be thinking of going out to the Imperial Age himself as well. You can see in his resources his intention. Ring, on the other hand, should be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon as well. He's got the castle already, so he doesn't need anything else, but he has gone already for the monastery. He's gone for what I assume is a university somewhere. No, just the monastery and the castle. And up to the Imperial Age, both these players should be. Nicov though, Nikov's got a much stronger economy. It's not even close. 22 additional workers for Nicov. The individual player will end up dominating water. We're on the fires though. Completely out of position for Nicov. Yeah. Well, he has taken the fishing ships already down, so I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, Running might end up taking some of the fishing ships down from Nicov. He's been relying on these quite heavily though, so that would indeed be a very expensive loss for Nicov. If he were to lose all 15 fishing ships right now, he would go down to 51 workers. Still 11 more compared to Running, mind you. But not ideal. And Nicov is paying attention, yes. But Running is going for a second castle in front of Nicov's base. The organ guns are here. Oh boy, and the castle's coming up without smiles upon Nikov's base, soon to be destroyed. If Running's getting away with this push, of course, if Running is getting his way. Yeah, there we go. She's coming in for Nicov right away. It's got trebuchets coming up. Running. It's going to be actually the first player to get a trebuchet out. And he's got 2 castles, so he can outproduce Nicov. And it's been rough. TTL on the Argentinian player so far. Manages to hold on to the fishing ships at the very least, but the pressure coming out from Running is extremely high. With 2 trebuchets already, it's going to require a lot of extra resources for Nicov to keep the castle up. He simply does not have enough. You can see that he does not have enough stone to keep on repairing, so this castle's going down. The only way in which he'll be able to keep the castle up is by buying the stone, so he's going for a market. And that's going to get very pricey very quickly, so Nikov's castle is pretty much doomed already. 3 trebuchets already from Running. Shouldn't really struggle to take the castle down, and Nicov, yeah, he's not even managing to get the market up right, so the castle crumbles. And Nikov's got his own trebuchets trying to take the castle down from Running. Running's going to bring some villagers over. Now he's got the organ guns coming in. He's got the monks coming in. He's got the trebuchets. Should pack these up and go for it. Try to take the trebuchets down from Nicov as well, and he's going to do so. Yes, sir. You can see it. He's going to relocate the trebuchets. Nothing for him to do against the DC anymore. It's not a threat. In this position, the castle's going to take care of that by its own, so it's very important for Running to just try and take trebuchets down. And you ask me what the riskiest job as a villager is in Age of Empires 2, and honestly there are so many things, but trebuchet engineer trebuchet technician is gonna be one of the riskiest jobs as an Age of Empires villager, right? You're just minding your business. It's not like trying to reinforce the walls, right? It's not even like a wall maintainer, because you know the units are gonna be coming targeting you. But over here, you're trying to repair the trebuchet, and out of the blue, the enemy trebuchet misses the shot and takes you down. And definitely was not trying to take you down. We cannot see it over here, but we saw it earlier. Anyway. Forecast builder, also less than ideal. This trebuchet repairman usually has a defensive position prepared. Yeah, sort of right, but the problem is you get taken down by accident. Like, you're not even supposed to die, but it's just the enemy trebuchet missing the shot. Let's take a look though. We see some conversions coming up. The interweb of targets over there, and a nice bar cannon shot against the organ guns. But yeah, Running Running has been able to get a lot of damage done against Nicov, but has been unable to put himself in a commanding position. He does not have any organ guns left. He barely has 2 bombard cannons. He's got 2 food workers. Cannot even keep on producing from the TC, right? And I don't see any extra military units coming out. He does not get access to Fatery until he gets to the Imperial Age. And well, he was able to come out on top over here in the Trebor. Nikov's got bombard cannons. Running. Well, he's got 1 actually. Nikov's only going for some right now. But he manages to take the Churchill down, so now he moves on. Try and take the TC down next. Hold on, Nicov. Nicov is extremely exposed. For all the extra villagers the blue player has right now over the red player, the vast majority of these are actually just bailing back. Trying to get back to work. So Running, I would say, is starting to get some momentum once again. Especially with the amount of monks he's managed to get himself. Now it's finally looking like Running's getting a good enough push over here to potentially suppress Nicov. He's got redemption, so he can go and try and take the bombard cannon down. Don't see Running going for any Faterias either, by the way. He's going for defensive towers, extra monasteries. Here come the bombard cannons, the organ guns, and the Mongols down without a single conversion from Nicov. He cannot afford to take these losses. What an interesting position for sure. See Running in here. Nicov as well. With redemption. He has taken a bombard cannon here for Nicov. Not the cheapest unit for the blue player to lose, of course. Yeah, and he's going to use a newly converted bombard cannon to try and take the tower down. Actually might be able to get away with a lot of extra damage over there. He was trying to take the bombard cannon from Nicov, the remaining one. He wasn't able to do it. Still managed to get a bunch of conversions. Very important for Running to keep on going for more monks. He's going for more now. Slowly but surely these guys are either going to get counter converted or taken down by the villagers. He needs to keep on replenishing the units. He's gone down monk count a little bit. He's trying to keep that up. Why not light cavalry? Well, doesn't really have the economy to go for it. Basically his entire land economy is going to be concentrated over here, and he's just collecting wood and gold and stone, so he's going to try and get a defensive castle up. And doesn't really have the wood right now to even go for stables. So they simply cannot afford it. Running's pressure is too strong for Nicov to take the time to save the resources to go for the light cavalry, right? Then at the same time, whatever he's going for right now, it's clearly not working. This might be worth taking the risk. Maybe after he gets a castle up? But he can't! He's going for defensive towers as well. Just taken away from the stone. And what an incredible push from Running though! Taking the tower down immediately. It's not staying up for Nicov for too long. Yeah, and without the tower over here, those villages are going to be completely exposed. And Nicov knows there's no way for him to come back in this position. Calls a GG and Running's going to take game number 1. Nicov's starting, you know, on the back foot. In TTL, we already saw what the first series was like for him, less than ideal, and now the second series is going to be a loss for game number 1 as well. Damn. But KD for Running, about 11 to 10. We're going to have on top of that a stronger economy for Nicov, mind you, collecting about 7,000 extra resources, but he did invest a lot into extra navy units. He did invest a lot into extra economy by going for the villages, by going for the TCs, by bailing against the push from Running and trying to expand over to the back, rebuilding himself so much, right? And then for society, we're going to see a higher villager max count for Nicov. The most efficient ships at the end of the game as well, but it did not make much of a difference at all. Well done. There we are, game number 2 is here. Running is going to be in the red color. Nicov is playing on the right hand side for game number 2 with the Chinese in the blue collar. Running's gonna be playing with the Khmer on the left hand side instead, and that means that Nicov gets the Chinese 2 extra villages upon starting the game. That's going to come 3 extra villages at the start of the game, sorry. That's going to come at the price though, 200 less food and 50 less wood compared to other civilizations. Besides that, we also see for the Chinese 10, 15, 20% cheaper upgrades in the feudal castle and imperial ages, in addition to, for the team bonus, 10% extra food on farms for free. The TCs, before I forget, they do get 5 extra line of sight and 5 higher population support. Meanwhile, for running on the other hand, playing with the Khmer, he's gonna get 10% faster moving battle elephant line units. We're gonna have for the Khmer also the ability to garrison 5 villagers inside each house. Let's see for the Khmer. In addition to all of that, also the there we go. You're going to see for the Khmer the ability to ignore building requirements, in addition to farmers who do not need mills or TCs to drop food on. For the team bonus, finally, the Khmer get 1 bonus range on 1 extra range on Scorpion line weapons. That's gonna be about it. For the map generation, next, taking a look at Nicov's map generation first. It's got a beautiful one, actually. Take a look at this. Nicov's really close to the corner of the map by getting this kind of generation spawning. He can potentially go for the walls towards the edge of the map, like this. Or even like this, right? Here, here, something like this. That would allow him to secure the goal in the back. But ideally, he would want to go for something a little bit greedier. It seems like he's going to go for the walls over here down the south, the way that we were anticipating this to be. But up in the north, I would definitely prefer for him to try and go for something like this. At the very least, right? And the reason for this is so that he can also secure these resources, right? The stone, the berries over here. Besides the main goal that Nicov's got on the back, he's going to have the secondary goals kind of exposed on the left-hand side, far away. And then we have secondary stone up in the north. On the left-hand side, running has set the main goal forward, and he's not quite as close to the corner of the map. So if he wanted to wall towards the edge of the map, he would have to go for something like this, right? But it seems like it's going to be a little bit more cautious. Something like this, probably. That's what we'll see. By going for these walls, he will be able to secure the main stone, which is in the back. The secondary stone, which is in the back as well. The main goal, which is forward. So that's already more compared to what Nicov will be able to secure. And the wood lines as well. Or at the very least, 1 wood line over here. And that I would like much better compared to the walls that Nicov will be going for if he goes for what I was expecting to see, not for what I was hoping to see. But it seems like it's not going to be the case though. Running is not going to take the time to go for greedy walls. Instead, it's just going to go for a little pouch of a base himself. Going for very tiny walls towards the berries, very tiny walls towards the main goal. And just going to rely on the TC to defend the rest of everything, right? This provides a fantastic opportunity for Nicov to come forward and put pressure. Because of the way the running swallow himself, the blue player, will have the opportunity to go for a tower on the back of the wood line over here and push the villagers away. Alternatively, or additionally, he could go for extra towers elsewhere. Probably 1 over here would not only secure the wood denial, but it would also deny the gold over here and would still be within range of the first tower, so they would be able to defend each other. And something like this from Nicov would effectively completely deny the economy from running. Seems like the bull player is coming forward. Let's see what kind of scouting information he's got. Not much. For this to work and for Nicov to go for something like this, he would actually have to get some pretty good vision of what exactly it is that running has available, right? And it's only now that Nicov's coming forward, so it's unlikely he's going to go forward anytime soon. And just as I say that, we see some militias coming in, but of course, I was talking about villagers and towers. If Nicov had gotten better scouting information, he probably would have been able to go forward with a tower play instead. We're going to see the militias end. Running should be able to defend himself against militias just fine. Double off nullifies the Josh nicely. Yes. These units, in order to get to the wood line, would have to go underneath the TC or breach through, and so long as running's paying attention, breaching through is not really going to be much of an option. Hey, there we go. This I like a lot better. Nico's going for the forward archer range. The forward barracks over here. Well, not forward as in front of running space. He's got it in front of his space, but there's going to be a better wall layout potentially, right? So he could potentially try to wall himself to the edge of the map. That would allow him to secure a wood line. Putting on for a fast cast maybe. Yeah, certainly he's got the food that he needs for it. He's sending extra villagers to go, so he's just gonna try to get away with that. It's interesting to see 24 population is usually not going to be enough when you're walling yourself in, but because of the very compact walls that he's going for, he's actually going to get away with it. However, though, that does come at a price. The Minotaurs do come in. One villager crumbles already, and here come the rest of the Minotaurs. We have the heal advantage over here as well, so if he plays his cards right, might be able to get another villager, and it seems like he's going to be able to get one, and he's trying to focus on individual villagers, but it's so difficult. He does get another one, though! And that's gonna be yet another villager, and yes, there are 3 villagers down the ground already for running, and Nicov is finally getting the damage done that he was hoping for over here with the Drush. Well done. Yeah, and running calls a GG! He was banking on fast castling, and boy, that was a quick damn game. You know what? We're just going to jump into game number 3 right away. After taking a look at the achievements. You know what? We don't even need to take a look at the achievements. Let's go back, cross civilization, out the map out, and just jump into game number 3, right? We still have some pre-roll off time from the previous commercial. So that was the Chinese against Khmer, right? Going in favor of Nicov. And game number 3 will then take place on Arena, the final map for the series. Damn, that was absolutely commanding from Nicov. Well played. Let's go for game number 3, guys. There we are. Final game is here. Yes, sir. No downtime. No ad squad for now, no. That's gonna be for the next series, for the next game. That was fast. And it seems like we are on track today to have maybe a 5-hour stream with 4 series. That is actually preferable, so that gives me time after the stream is over to go and maintain my YouTube channel without it taking away from my working time tomorrow. Or well, not tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to be streaming as well. I think we're going to be streaming daily until the 3rd. So, never mind, but it's still good. The shorter streams allow me to actually get that behind the scenes part of the work done. Otherwise, it's too much to keep up with. This arena will be refreshing. No Bohemians, Turks, or Poles. Let's go. Yeah. And Bengalis are certainly a civilization that we have seen running actually take advantage of several times in the past. And if Nicov has paid any attention to running's previous series, he is probably extremely confident in what running will be going for, and that is Elephant Archer, of course. For the civilizations, then we're gonna have for Nicov, yes, with the Malay, 66 civilization with a 66% faster research in ages. It's going to have also 30 and 40% cheaper battle elephant line units, but that's going to be about it. The rest of the bonuses for Malay will be for different maps, for water and hybrid maps. None of which arena is, of course, so this is going to be all about economy. Running, playing with the Bengalis instead, we'll have 2 additional villagers coming out of the TCs upon reaching a new age. He will have also elephants that take 25% less bonus damage and have a little bit of conversion resistance. Once again, I am not really sure exactly what kind of conversion resistance they get, if it's the same as the Teutons, for instance, or if it's a lesser amount of conversion resistance. Regardless though, besides that, we'll see for Bengalis as well. +3/+3 armor on monks for the team bonus. Yeah, the team bonus is actually going to be for team games for Bengalis specifically, so not too relevant over here. And yeah, that's about it for both these civilizations running. We are expecting to see the elephant archers. We are expecting to see the chunkers, the ranged chunkers. Nicov, well, he's playing with melee. What to expect over here? Probably... yeah, he's taking the boar over here. What to expect over here? Well, it's probably just going to try and play for a stand fast castle into full economy, into late game. Into what? Arbalisters? Melee? Well, the elephants are going to be much better. Halberdier? Halberdier and Arbalisters? Elephants? Doesn't seem to me like elephants would be the way to go. They are tanky. They are tanky still, even if they are not the most heavily armored of elephants for the melee or the highest HP. Maybe it can work against elephant archers, but he's going to need something else though. Karambit raid? I'll be down to see that, yeah. Alright. Let's take a look at the map generation as we often do. Starting with Mr. Nicov. It's gonna have the main goal on the back, that's great. It's gonna have the secondary goal forward. This is exposed in a way that it's possible for running to spot this from outside the walls, right? And then the other secondary goal is going to be outside the walls. The other secondary stone is going to be outside the walls as well. The main stone is going to be on the back, and overall, map generation seems to be pretty standard over here. This goal, as usual, could potentially get spotted by running, by just scouting alongside the walls, and if running was to go for a forward castle at some point and he wanted to decide on a good location to drop it, by having vision of that gold, he would be able to go for the castle probably over here, where he can deny both these things with a single fortification. Taking a look at the map generation for running, on the other hand, we'll see that he's got the main goal on the back. He's got the secondary goal forward. We're gonna see the other secondary goal, of course, outside the walls. While for stone, on the other hand, then we get main stone on the back. Secondary stone is going to be outside the walls, of course. And very similarly to Nicov's map generation, we find ourselves in a position where Nicov could potentially see the gold over here by scouting alongside the walls. And if you were to go for a forward castle, and then he could potentially go for one around here. This is not to say that this is what's going to happen. This is not a prediction. This is not a premonition. This is just speculation only, right? And a hypothetical. For relic distribution, on the other hand, though, we do have one closer to running. We do have one over here that's going to be neutral. Then we do have one over here that's closer to Nicov, one that's neutral over here, and one that is going to be closer to Nicov, so it seems to be favoring the bull player a little bit. There we go, Castellet should be on the way for Nicov. He's gonna be there significantly earlier, of course. Interestingly enough, the civilization that Nicov's making use of right now is often going to result in about 2 to 3 extra villagers. Sorry, more like 4 and 5 extra, or 5 extra villagers by the time you get to the castle age, because how much faster the next age researches. However, the Bengalis specifically, as they do spawn new villagers every time that they move on to the next stage from the TCs, will actually allow for running to offset for that. And as a matter of fact, right now his one extra villager compared to Nicov, is 2 extra villagers compared to Nicov, and by the time he gets to the castle age, the village count's gonna be the same for both these players. So Nicov won't really be able to take full advantage of a civilization bonus in the sense that he won't really be able to get ahead in economy, or at the very least shouldn't be the case for quite as much. Yeah, we have pretty much the same gather economy time right now for both these players. That's something we're gonna try and keep an eye on as well, as the players, both players, move over to the castle age. The one thing that Nicov will have overrunning though is the head start to the castle age, which would allow him to potentially go for extra TCs, but right now he's prioritizing the monastery. Doesn't have a stable though, so it's not quite as good. Running on the other hand, he does have a stable, so he will try to get map control. Hey Balcanaro, hi. Vorange schieten. Hold on, I got this. Vorange schieten. Is that so? My lord. I don't know. Look at that fast cuts down perfectly. Does have the wood for TC sadly. It might be a while until he does. Yeah, and this might actually give running the opportunity to actually be the one to get ahead, right? Like Nicov has prioritized the monastery now. Oh, that is forage, my lord, forage schieten. Is that so? I forgot about the V sound. Or the F sound, rather. That's the one thing that I've been struggling with a little bit. Like, I can... It's hard for me to get used to say... Vier. Vier. Vielen. Vater. You know, those things. Yeah. Took me a while to remember, but got it. I just have this instinct to read it. Especially after spending so much freaking time practicing it as a native Spanish speaker, because in Spanish you don't have the V sound, which you do in English, you do in pretty much every language except for Spanish. So I had to kind of force myself to get used to it, and then it's very hard to kind of break out of that. A lot of scouts from running. Nicov still managed to get away. We're collecting 2 relics though. There you go. BVF. I'm not really sure what that stands for. V to F, I understand. B to V, not quite. There we go. Monks are starting to go down right now to the light cavalry. That is going to be a very good trade for running overall. Getting the monks down. That's a lot of resource down the drain for Nicov. Yeah, with the scouts, we only have 2 left. Just going for more monks. Running has gotten 1 relic himself. He's finally going for the 3rd TC. Nicov was actually able to go for the 3rd TC a little bit earlier. Even the 2nd TC was coming up at about the same time for both these players. Another monk goes down. Another one. Nico's finally getting cleaned up over here. Yeah, I'm not really sure why he dropped the palisades over there. What was that from Nicov? Yeah, I'm not really sure actually. Maybe a misclick? Who knows? Anyway, He deleted them right afterwards. And now Running's finally going to collect the 5th and final relic. This will leave us on a 3-2 relic distribution that favors the German player. While Running on the other hand, while Nicov, sorry, on the other hand, is getting a hidden worker count still by about 7 workers. Gather economy time at this point in time is higher for Nicov, albeit by a very small amount. And it's going to be only 8 extra minutes of gather economy time, which is going to result in about 160 extra resources. Ideally for Nicov. But Running might actually be able to compensate for that. Because he's going for wheelbarrow right now while Nikov's not. And he's got heavy plow right now while Nicov has not gone for it. Running might actually be on a comparable amount of resources collected total compared to Nicov, despite the higher gather economy time for Nicov over here, which keeps on expanding. Now it's going to be about, let's take a look at it. Yeah, about 18 minutes. Beautiful. Ryan's just being a nuisance around Nico's base, trying to get conversions. Nico's economy is going to be impacted by this, actually. He does end up moving a bunch of villages around. And once again, I think Running... Yeah, Running is 20 minutes behind in gather economy time. That should be, once again, in an ideal world, about 400 resources extra for Nicov. Now, he's going out to the Imperial Age. Let's take a look at the resources to see who has collected the most total. I would imagine it's probably about the same for both, especially now that we have handguard for Running as well. Check this out. Economy is about 500, actually 400 or so higher for Nicov, and it seems like he is actually getting away with this, despite kind of lacking the upgrades. And I thought Running for sure was going to be on a comparable economy, but in the end, he wasn't. And Nicov is getting away with the lead. It's looking better for Nicov. Imperial on the way. Stone for the castle. Managed to get 3 relics. 2 relics for Nicov. But yes, he does have everything else. Castle's coming up. Defend himself with it. Beautiful. The TC's going down. The castle's not doing much of anything for Nicov in that regard. And he is going for the Karambit. You were expecting to see Karambit warriors, and we are seeing Karambit warriors. I was expecting to see elephant archers, and we are seeing elephant archers right now as well. Well, that's gonna be an interesting battle to take a look for sure. Elephant archers versus Karambit warriors. Who wins? Yeah, it's not even up for debate. The elephants will demolish. So long as Running gets a good amount of these units right now. He's got only 5. And Nicov, of course, shouldn't really struggle to get a good amount of Karambit warriors. These come very quickly for very cheap at half the population space. And here he comes. We have the Karambits coming against the elephants. And the second castle on the way for Nicov to double his production potential. The Karambits in the end is... Yeah, the move over here for Nicov is strong enough to take the mountains down. He was not able to do it before the TC had gone down. So now he's down to 2 TCs while Running is on 4 TCs himself. Let's continue going for more and more elephant archers now that he's clicked up to the Imperial Age as well. Yeah, and you know what? It's not too bad for Running, and Nicov needs to go for something else. It's gonna go for chemistry and make a play for skirmishers. soften the case against elephants, right? But we have seen running already offset for skirmishers pretty easily in the past. So what is gonna be different for Nicov this time around compared to all the other times? So the elephant archers dominate. And I'm still yet to see it. It's just the Karambi warriors. That's the only thing that Nicov is doing differently over here compared to the other times where running was able to get away with the elephants, right? But I just don't see this sufficing right now. I just don't see this working out. Conversions coming up. The monks will go down. Yes, sir. But of course, the remaining Karambi warriors will get completely demolished as well. Running's got ballistics right now, so these guys are taking full damage. There we are. See trade shops going down. Running. Gets to the Imperial Age though. We have part of the taxes on the way for running as well. Chemistry, Bracer. Bracer finished researching already. Chemistry's on the way. Yeah, and Nico's gonna try to make a play for bombard cannons and skirmishes over there. That's just not going to cut it. That's just not going to cut it. And Ryan's gonna be careful. He's gotta respect the skirmishes over here, but we are most definitely going to see something else come out for running to try and counter the skirmishes over here. It's not going to be just the elephants, of course. Unless he's hoping to get to 200 population with these. He would definitely be able to offset for the skirmishers with just elephants if he got 200 population with them, but no way right now. Just gotta respect this. Running. The man of the chunkers. The chunker piper. Elite elephant archers coming up, guys! Yes, sir! And he's got a lot of these on the way. Yeah, he's going for full chunker right now. We can see the queue. Very, very heavily producing archers. Elephant archers, that is running. Should be able to get 200 population with chunkers alone, but it's gotta be careful. Once again, these elephants will go down to the skirmishers. So you cannot just use the elephants anymore. Rhining's not taking a good engagement over here. This is not good whatsoever. He's trying to go after the bombard cannons. It's very difficult for him and he's losing a lot of value. Without actually going up in population too much. Rhining needs a meat shield of sorts over here. And he wants to just use the elephant archers as meat shield, but it's not going to be the most cost effective. Nicov. Well, Nicov's losing the TC. I guess so long as running can produce archers at a faster rate than he's losing these, then maybe it's not the worst, right? It's going to have an endless meat shield, so to say, for the trebuchets to work out of, and then for him to go after the castles with. But there we go. This is what I want to see from running. He's got husbandry. He's got bloodlines, scale bar the number on the way, so we know exactly what to expect. Bengalis will be going for scouts. For the time being, it's just going to be a little bit of a meat shield. Battle of elephant archers, rather. All the trebuchets are trying to take the castles down, and they should be able to take the castles down. And my lord! If running takes this one, that's gonna be so rough for Nicov! It's been a rough couple sets for the Argentinian. There he goes. Ryan's trying to buy himself some more time. Still at the same consistent 26 or so elephant archer count. Does manage to take the castle down though. Doesn't that losing one of the trebuchets, but should be able to go for it and keep on putting pressure. There's only one castle left over here, although Nicov's trying to go for yet another one. Trebuchet is packing out from running, moving forward and deploying very soon. Nicov's gonna keep on trying to make the play for bombard cannons and skirmishers. So far, it's not worked out. It's not worked out. The running's push is extremely expensive, but it's a lot more pop efficient. Same population, both these players will have a comparable military count where the elephant archers are coming out on top against the skirmishers, and this is just unbelievable. It seems like the castle's going down, and it seems like running is getting some great momentum over here. Now he's got like cavalry coming out. That's going to be the final nail in the coffin from Nicov. He wasn't able to hold on against elephant archers in their own right. How good is Nicov's army going to be against light cavalry right now, in addition to the elephant archers? Not good enough, may I say. Yeah, and that castle won't stay over here for too long, I may add as well. As the castle goes down, Nicov's going to be left on only one castle as he gets this one up. He's not going to be left alive for very long, right? He's trying to go after the trebuchets now. Maybe able to get one down, two down perhaps. Not quite, notice. Running does end up sniping the bombard cannons, and only one trebuchet crumbles from the red player, and the castle staying up for Nicov for the time being, but this is coming in at a cost. He's got masonry coming up. Halberdier right now, Nicov as well. But he's spending a lot of resources just trying to keep the castle up over here, and this is not coming in cheap. Meanwhile, running on the other hand, he's got another castle coming up forward. And the light cavalry keep on doing heaps of damage. Kinda let go in the elephant archer production a little bit. He's just going to go for full light cavalry. It's going to work so long as he's got some protection for the trebuchets, of course. This is the main thing for running, right? If he can keep the trebuchets up, he can take the castle down. But it seems like it's going to be the case, and Nicov is able to keep the castle up for the time being. Just as he was running out of stone, he's able to take one of the trebuchets down, and it seems like he's going to be able to take yet another trebuchet down. Or running's trying to go for more elephants still. Not really producing that heavily, so it's going to take a while. What is the map control situation? If running does not secure the gold, then he won't be able to continue with this push. Notice how Nikov's been surviving for such a long time with just the main goal on the back of his base. Meanwhile, running's already run out of the main goal. He is collecting from the second one, the third one as well. He's trying to go after the next goal. This is just like a black hole of gold. Nicov right now, running right now, rather, because the elephant archer is being so pricey. Running's trajectory has been insane the last couple of years. I would agree with that, yes. And here come the elephants once again, and the skirmish archers trying to focus fire. The light cavalry down. The elephant archers do manage to get a bunch of these units down, but we still need to see extra siege from running. He does have a third trebuchet on the way right now. He's got two. Nikov's out of stone, so if running starts targeting the castle once again, this should be pretty difficult for Nicov to hold on to. And it will be. Here we go. Here come the light cavalry once again, the chunkers! And the castle crumbles from Nicov. 3 trebuchets left from running, and while running's going to end up losing his own castle, this was not going to do anything from running compared to the castle from Nicov, which was so important for defenses. And the blue players left on 1 castle only in 2 TCs, and I'll tell you this right away, it's not going to suffice. It's just not. It's just not going to be enough. There we are. We need more units from running still, though. This has been a little bit of an issue for the German player to sustain the production going. He does not have reinforcements coming in as quickly as he needs them. So his push kind of runs out. Yeah, and that's another castle from running, because why not? And here comes running one more time. He's got 2 trebuchets. I believe these will target the castle. Not quite, actually. I think it's going after the archer ranges. That's not good. Or is that the monastery? No, that is not good. That is not where he wants to have the trebuchets deploy. He wants to go and take the castle down. Doesn't matter if he loses his own castle. This, once again, is not really going to provide too many defense for running anyway. He's already got the defenses he needs in the form of military units forward, right? In the form of momentum. So he needs to go up to the castle, and he's finally going for it now. Does it just become a cemetery of units? With so much red and blue in front of Nicov's base. Can have some of Nicov's production could still be good. I mean, I guess so. Nicov can easily go for extra archer ranges at the back. He's got the resources for it. But definitely would prefer for him to try and take the defenses down, like the actual fortifications, so he can just come in with the units. If he can come in and cut production with his own military right away, as opposed to taking the buildings down, that's also very effective, because the units are going to be coming out one at a time. He's not going to have enough time to mass them up, Nicov, that is. But yes, the castle crumbles from Nicov. That was the last one. And the hope is abandoning ship around Nicov's base. This kingdom is not looking like it's going to have a bright future whatsoever in running. Running is about to dominate. Doesn't really have too many extra elephant archers still, but he will go for more. Doesn't have too many extra light cavalry right now, but he will go for more very soon, for sure. Nikov's gonna be left on skirmishers and halberdier units, which running should be able to take care of, so long as he pays attention somewhat. And that is a very strong push from running, of course. The amount of trebuchets we have right now is nothing short of amazing. Continue control for Nicov, though. He is taking the elephants down one at a time and keeping the light cavalry kind of at bay. Yeah, and that is not the engagement the running wants to take. He's going to try to go for the skirmishers right now, but it's not good. He's going to end up losing a lot of the halberdier over here. Population 170 for running, 160 for Nicov, 166, 171 Nicov and running respectively. Yeah, the red player is kind of having a really tough time over here, cracking the defense open for Nicov. And honestly, Nicov has been able to survive much longer than I thought he was going to. So yeah, in this position, I guess going after the barracks, going after the archer range, actually does not hurt for running. Because unit control has been fantastic. Or like cavalry coming over. Running's trying to shape his economy for what he needs right now, going for extra farmers as well, so he can actually expand the light cavalry. He's coming in. And Nikov's not gonna wait for running to get into his base to call it GG. He's just going to call it right here, right now. But it was! Oh, that was a big shot, actually. Let's actually go back. Yeah. So that was a big shot. This is an Anji, right? Yes. Alright, Nicov 154 population. Ah, that was a good shot. Yes. And that is another one that was about to connect before Nicov called the GG. I think he survived for the most part, but yeah, definitely I don't think that was necessarily game ending. That was very nice still from running. I think Nicov at this point had already given up. And that's going to be the second set in a row, actually, that Nicov loses for TTL, and that's very rough for the Argentinian. I would say Nicov was probably, for most people, expected to come up as a top 4 player, right? And right now, it could still be the case, but it seems to me like he's probably going to end up 4th. Like exactly 4th, because of the other players struggling still in 5th and 6th place. We're going to take a look at who those players are, but let's go through the achievements first. Taking a look at military, better KD for running. He needed 2 units, significantly pricier. Stronger economy as well, collecting about 6,000 extra resources. And for society, a higher villager max count for Nicov. That's going to be about it. He did end up losing a bunch of villagers over here. I'm not really sure how many of these he actually deleted compared to losing. And I think it's probably just mostly losses, right? Because running was the one with momentum going forward. And running, on the other hand, ended up losing 10 villagers, so it seems about right. And overall, good performance for running. He ends up taking the series over here. We're going to see what the standings are looking like for both these players. Let's go back. Here we are. So, Nicov's right now 6th, under running in Group A. After the second series, he loses this one, right? And running, I think that was the last one for running. Running already played this one here, this one here, this one here, this one here as well. So yeah, this was the last series for running. He wins this one, so he's going to go up to 6 points. And Nicov is going to be on 2 points, right? So 6 points for running, 2 points for Nicov. And thank you so much for the raid, Janzo. Appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. We're casting TTL. We just finished casting running versus Nicov. And we were taking a look at the standings, right? So the page got updated. Let's refresh this and take a look at the final results. Well, it's not really updated for Nicov yet. But once again, it's going to be 2 points for him. Running is going to get 6 points. So running instantly goes up. My lord, ACCM has just been clapping everyone. And running, by taking 2 points over here, immediately goes up to 2nd spot. However, of course, there's 1 more series left for Valas. There are 3 more series left for Doubt. There are 2 more series left for Winchester. And Nika still got 3 more series to go for. So it's not over for the Argentinian, but it's certainly not, I would say, the results that he was probably hoping for, right? Yeah. Let's refresh again. Hey, there we go. Yes. Nicov to 2 points and running. Goes from 5th spot to 2nd spot. But of course, he's out of series. If Valas takes 2 sets, he's going to... Actually, who won between running and Valas? Valas won. Okay, so if Valas gets 2 points in the next set, and he's got just 1 left, right? He's got 1 series left versus Doubt. If he takes 2 games from Doubt, then Valas goes up to 2nd spot. Doubt still has 3 series